Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you. I was asked in kind of a very rude way just recently via a Facebook encounter, I guess we'll call it. What is it that you conservatives are trying to conserve? Well, I'm going to answer that and give you an update on our latest project around here. Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Screen Porch Update Day 7. Here's what we've gotten done today is Tuesday the 18th of June, and the crew showed up first thing, well actually showed up yesterday about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and finished getting the decking in and stuff like that. They only work for about an hour or so. Maybe an hour and a half, and got quite a lot of the little preliminaries done, getting ready to do this. And what they've done today is they've gotten the framing sort of complete for the roof rafters that are going to go over the screen porch. They were here all day long. They worked very hard. We talked with the contractor today about a couple of questions and concerns that we had, and they were addressed right away. So I got to give the guy credit for being a good sport with things. And so this is what we've got. I'm going to give you a little bit closer look of what we've got completed today. So I'm up on the deck part right now, and you can see behind me that they've gotten the supports all in place for the roof rafters that are going to go in. And I'll give you a shot of the tie-in to the house, and the roof rafters will come down and go out here. But you can see that this comes all the way around, and I am pretty impressed with the quality of the craftsmanship. The guys worked hard. They were very precise in their measurements, and they worked well together as a team. There was 3 guys here today all day long, and we really got quite a lot done. So what's going to happen in here is that there's going to be a railing here, and so that you can use that to set my beer glass on or whatever, or a whiskey glass. And so there'll be a railing that goes about, what, 3 feet, something like that, maybe 38 inches up all the way around. And it's certainly wide enough right now to be able to support a couple of rocking chairs and some furniture and things like that that we'll be putting out here. We talked to the contractor. He was very amenable to any of the questions and some of the thoughts that we had about the build, and they've done a super great job so far. So this comment came from a very left-leaning person that I used to actually enjoy their company, their wit, their humor, and they have tilted so far to the left that I can hardly put up with them any longer. In fact, I don't. I have restricted their access to anything that I've got on Facebook, and they are just going to have to deal with it, I guess, because I can't deal with them anymore. But the question was, what is it that you conservatives are trying to conserve? And it kind of came from the background that the only good stuff that's happening in the world today are things that the lefty liberals are doing right now. It's the compassion for open borders, the support for the current dictatorial president that we've got, and they just can't seem to figure in their head exactly what it is that conservatives are trying to conserve. So I made a list of 10 things that I think conservatives wish to conserve. So I'll start with number one, the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution is our founding document. It's the set of rules that we aspire to make sure that this country runs the way the will of the people want it to run. We established a representative republic here, which means that democracy elects representatives. So the folks that get the most votes become your representatives in Congress or in state legislatures, those kinds of things. And those folks are elected democratically. It's the guy that gets the most votes. And we formed a republic, as Benjamin Franklin said, if we can keep it. And I am concerned that the left is under the impression that the Constitution is some sort of a document that needs to be updated to reflect exactly what's going on in today's society. And today's society, oh man, I'm not sure. But there is provisions in the Constitution to make changes, to make amendments, and that's been done a number of times already. So it is somewhat of a living document that we can add clarifications, that we can add new requirements, and that's done through the amendment process. There's a secondary, a second option that we could have a convention of states. And I'm not sure. I haven't done all the research that I need to, and maybe some folks out there know for sure, but a convention of states is a possibility where we would convene the states to get together and make changes to the Constitution using that form that's outlined in the Constitution. But as a conservative, I want to conserve and preserve the U.S. Constitution. And second to that, and part of the Constitution, is the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights is contrary to what most liberals and lefty thinking type people want to believe. That's the list of things that the government cannot do, things that shall not be infringed. That's what's going on with that, and I believe that every conservative worth his salt needs to support the Bill of Rights as it's been written. There are way too many good things in the Bill of Rights right now to make any wholesale changes to what's going on with that. Even though the Second Amendment says it shall not be infringed, it doesn't seem to slow anybody down on the left-hand side that want to make wholesale changes to the Bill of Rights. Shall not be infringed is exactly what it means. And yeah, there is some confusing language about the militia and all that, but when you read it in context, it says shall not be infringed. So I am an advocate for conserving and preserving the Bill of Rights. Number 3, and this comes from the Declaration of Independence, that we need to preserve life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that's number 3, 4, and 5. Life, well, I think that preserving and conserving life is absolutely important. And I'm not talking about my life or anybody in particular's life. I'm talking about the lives of those that cannot and are unable to speak for themselves, and I'm talking about the preborn community. So life includes those people. Liberty. Liberty means freedom. Liberty means being free of the shackles of an overarching and overreaching government dictatorship and control. That was extremely important to the colonists back in the day when the Constitution was written. They suffered through all kinds of tyrannical regulations, rules, and laws that caused them to rebel. Taxation without representation, those kinds of things. Liberty is freedom, and freedom is liberty, to be free of the shackles of an oppressive government. And the pursuit of happiness. I believe that we have an absolute right to be able to pursue happiness. Now, that doesn't mean that we can do harm to other people, that we have laws on the books right now that say, oh, you can't murder people, oh, you can't rob people, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, and there are hundreds of thousands of laws all over from local, city, state, national, you name it. But as long as you're really not harming anybody, the pursuit of happiness is a fundamental item that needs to be conserved and preserved. Number 6, justice for all. That kind of comes from the Pledge of Allegiance. And the pledge says that we need to have justice for all. And I don't believe that today's justice system is achieving that lofty goal of providing justice for all. We see what's going on with all the lawsuits and lawfare that's been levied against our former president, Donald Trump. And you see what's going on with the riots here and the riots there. You see grandmothers being arrested at right to life rallies, but you don't see the folks that are burning cities down getting in any kind of legal trouble at all. But look at what's going on with the January 5th crowd, and that, I think, is a proof positive that justice is not equal for all. So with that said, I'll move on to states' rights. And I believe that states' rights were usurped by the 17th Amendment, and I'm not sure that the 17th Amendment was the right thing to do, but they followed the procedures, they got the amendment passed, and there it is. Used to be that state governments would appoint 2 individuals to represent the state in the Senate. And they were there to represent the state and the state's rights. And folks were worried that that could be too much cronyism going on, allowing state governments to pick and choose whoever they wanted to represent their interests at the federal level. So they changed it and said in the 17th Amendment that the people shall elect the two state representatives, the two state senators, to go to the Senate. I don't think that the senators actually believe that they're representing the rights of their state. They are subject and beholden to the votes that the majority of the people in that state cast for them every 6 years. And so they're going to be representing the people, not the state. And that's, I think, against what the U.S. Constitution was really written for. So I say we need to address that in the next amendment that's coming up, or in the next Convention of States. I would like to see that go back to state-appointed senators. So that's that. Number 8, the American dream. That needs to be conserved and preserved. The American dream is really kind of hard to define. Folks have tried all kinds of different ways, but it's got everything to do with life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the rule of law, the belief in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, justice, all that. The American dream is to be able to live free without the specter of an overreaching and tyrannical government, which is what we're getting to today. Number 9, morality. I think that we've lost sight of what's moral and what's right. Every time I turn around and look, it just happened this week that the Supreme Court decided that bump stocks were not machine guns. And that put the ATF back on their heels, saying that you guys can't do this. So what's the next step? Well, Chuck Schumer is going to call for a vote to make bump stocks illegal in the Senate. Well, the precedent's already been set. And if that law gets passed in the Senate, passes to the House and gets signed, then there will be another constitutional challenge to the bump stock rule, and it'll just go the same way that the first one did. So there's that. Morality doesn't exist in the minds of the left. They are only in it for themselves, and to heck with the rest of us. And the 10th thing on the list is printed on every dollar bill and every coin that we've got in circulation in our U.S. currency right now, and that's "In God We Trust." And I would much rather put my faith and trust in God than I would in the government of the United States as it stands right now. So when people come up and ask you, what is it that you conservatives really want to conserve? Use any of the 10 that I've just given you. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.